How's it going, film and TV fans? Welcome back to another review on the Film Nerds Reviews channel, and today we are looking at a film that is very prestigious in its own right. A film that is not only the first foreign subtitled film that I have watched on the that I have reviewed here on this channel, but also one of my favourite movies, and actually one of the top 250 narrative features of all times on Letterboxd. It actually comes in at number 2, behind the recently released Everything Everywhere All at Once. Now, obviously, this is the South Korean film written and directed by Bong Joon-ho. Now, this is actually the second film by Bong Joon-ho that I have reviewed on this channel. The other one is Snowpiercer, but that film is, for the most part, in English, with only one character speaking Korean, and then it gets translated in the film, whereas this film is completely in Korean, and for me, that works so much better here, I think. But not only is this movie, as good as it is as a Bong Joon-ho movie, it's also a movie that all the way back in 2020, in early 2020, at the 2020 Oscars, which was obviously for 2019 films, this movie went up against a lot of films that were incredible: For Ferrari, 1917, Jojo Rabbit, Little Women, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, The Irishman, to name but a few. And despite coming up against all those fantastic films that are all brilliant, some of which I've covered on this channel, some of which I haven't yet, it beat them all out and won Best Picture, something that a foreign film hasn't won, as far as I'm aware, ever, which makes Parasite the first non-English speaking film to win the Best Picture at the Academy Awards. Now, whether that's seen as being or because the film is actually that good is up to you, but for me it's because I think it stands among one of, it is one of the best movies ever made. For me, it's always been one of my favourites. The moment I was very, very lucky enough to witness this movie in the cinema subtitled on the big screen, which is something I'm very happy to have been able to say I've done, because it was an incredible experience seeing a subtitled foreign film on the big screen. And yeah, it's just it's so well made, and I think it's not even just how well made it is. It's just the fact that the story is so brilliant that it starts off as one thing and it slowly turns, and even then, throughout most of the first 2 acts of the film, it is just a generic bait and switch kind of let's the main characters, the families, they make their way into this household of this richer family by taking over little jobs, by knocking off the already pre-existing the housekeeper, the driver. It all starts off by the son in the family. His friend is going away and he wants him to take over teaching the girl of the house, so he goes and does that, and then they all find a way in which they can get the rest of the family in. The daughter of the family becomes an art teacher for the small boy. The dad becomes the driver for them. The mum becomes the housemaid, and until the very start of the 3rd act, it remains to be they've accomplished this, and then the movie takes an interesting turn story-wise in when. I'm not going to go too depth spoilers, but basically the housekeeper is the one character who does come back and actually plays a much bigger part in the end of the film and as it goes on. I'm not going to spoil it because I really think everyone should watch it, but as it then devolves and turns into this crazy, like literally the last act takes the biggest fucking cliff dive, and it turns into almost like a horror where things start taking up a notch. The suspense goes up, there's murder, violence, stabbings, it gets crazy, and I think that's So what is so perfect about this film, it doesn't spend the first act setting things up and then does the twist by the beginning of the second act, so you have the whole third act to get used to it. They really draw you in to the point where by the end of the second act you think, oh, this movie's just going to be this, and then the third act comes to it and open, and it just fucking completely tips the other way around, and it's brilliant. It is just a brilliant film. It's storytelling at its fucking finest, and not only that, it's beautifully shot as well. The cinematography is gorgeous in this movie. I can't lie, it is genuinely amazes me how high quality movie this movie is. Like, it's so beautifully shot, it's so beautifully made. There's some absolutely gorgeous shots in it. The music is fantastic. Jung Jae-il's score is incredible. The direction's brilliant, and it really is such a mastery of film. It's one of the best movies ever made, and it is cinema. There are so many movies that you can class as that, but this is one of those. It is absolutely fantastic, and to be able to be someone to say, I, living in Great Britain, saw this subtitled foreign film on the big screen before before the Oscar buzz and stuff, was great, because I loved it. All the characters are so perfectly done, so perfectly written, so perfectly performed. Every single one of them. I think the best character in the movie is the daughter, who pretends to be Jessica. She's the most smartest. She has the most skills, I think, and that's really cool. But I also like the driver as well. All the characters is phenomenally well casted as well. There's a great cast here. The script is top notch as well, and I think that really helps in making the movie as good as it is. And I think I just think back to, when this movie was coming out and stuff, and how just different it felt to everything else I'd seen at that time, and still does. It's an incredible watch even now. It is just something so different from everything in the Western world that I think it's that special, that I don't think it would be made in the Western world. I don't think the way it was made, I don't think it'd be made in the Western world. I'm not going to get into that kind of thing because it's not my territory, but as a film, it is just breathtakingly amazing. I think it is just it's an incredible script, an incredible soundtrack and score to boot, an incredible feat of film. It feels so perfect. It has a great, the ending is just so, the last act of the film takes a nosedive, and I think that's one of the most important things about the movie, is that it really does stick the landing, because when it jumps off that cliff in the third act, you really think, is this going to be able to stick some kind of landing? And I am pleased to say that it does. It lands perfectly on its feet without breaking a single bone, toenail, or anything. It perfectly lands on its 2 feet and says, yeah, I just fucking did that, deal with it, sort of thing. And I love it for that exact reason. It's an incredible, it's such a great movie. A movie I recommend everyone go ahead and watch, because it is such a movie that really deserves a watch from everyone, and I mean everyone. Even if, for example, I have one of my closest friends, doesn't refuse, but he doesn't want to watch it just yet because he doesn't like films with subtitles. And honestly, this is one of those movies where obviously the subtitles are kind of necessary, but you can also kind of get the idea of what's going on without the subtitles. Obviously you need them, but I think it's one of those things where I think, well, obviously if you turn them off, it's not gonna make too much sense. You still can get the basic plot, and I think, yes, I do think this is a better movie than Snowpiercer. It's a way better movie than Snowpiercer, because Snowpiercer is one thing. This is something different, and I applaud it for that. And it's been a while. Obviously, it's been 3 years since this movie was made, and Bong Joon-ho is yet to make another movie after this. I think, give him credit, he is obviously not wanting to push in the next direction, because whatever he makes after this is gonna. I'm not going to say he's not capable of making a movie as good as this again, but at the same time, movies like this don't come around too often, and I really think he's making the right decision by holding off until doing something he really thinks he can pull off, because yeah. It's such a high. I think, listen, it's such a fantastic movie, and I'm still sat here thinking, how can I, it's such an incredible movie, and I think it's just so specially made, I think, and it's something that's never going to come out ever again, because it's so brilliantly made that, in all honesty, so it's just I still think about how it inspires me to make films as well. As someone who wants to be a filmmaker, it inspires me to be able to, try not mimic it, but just try and get something on that level, because it is. Yeah, it is an incredible movie that, something means incredible. It means, it was it was one of the first movies that I saw that really changed my perspective on how films could be made, I think, and propelled me into how I see movies nowadays, and obviously I do feel like it's changed, and I'm very glad that I have had that opportunity to almost flip my ideology of movies and how they're made, and I think that's really helped me. It's really just pushed the direction for how I see movies nowadays and how I want to make movies as well, so but yeah, I just want to say Parasite is one of the best movies ever made, and I don't think anything anytime soon is going to really come that close to topping it, because there are some movies I think are definitely better than that, but that's that's really a me kind of thing, and I think yeah, I just love it. I think it's brilliant, and I will have to admit, I think it continues to astound me that such a movie is still in existence. Yeah, I'm just sat here lost for words, really, because yeah, it's a brilliant movie. So yeah. Yeah, thank you so much for watching my review of Parasite. Please go check it out. In the UK, it's currently streaming on Amazon Prime Video, as well as the black and white version of Parasite, which I'm yet to watch. So please do check that out. I highly recommend, if you like films on any level, to watch Parasite, because it is a masterclass in filmmaking, and I really, really love it so much. So yeah, thank you so much for watching my review of Parasite. More reviews coming soon. We're gonna start back on the Marvel stuff soon, which I'm not, Loki and all the films from last year that I haven't catched up on yet, and we'll be doing that. So thanks so much for watching. And in terms of music, my latest single, Monorail Skyride, is out now. Go check that out, it's really good. We've got fucking hell, Justin Deluxe drops May 5th, and there's a single from that on May 4th. Haha, funny Star Wars Day. Yeah, thanks so much for watching. Have a wonderful day, and bye bye for now.